A man leaves a $50,000 bill on his desk and leaves the office. When he returns, the money had disappeared. He has 3 suspects: the secretary, the cleaning lady, and the janitor. The secretary says she put the money under a book on his desk to keep it safe. They check and it is no longer there. The maid says she moved it when she was cleaning the inside of the book between page 1 and 2. They open the book and look between page number 1 and 2, but it isn't there. The janitor says he saw it sticking out of the book, and to keep it safe, he moved it to between page number 2 and 3. Once they are done, the thief is promptly arrested. Who did it, and how did he know? The janitor did it because if he checked between page numbers 1 and 2, numbers 2 and 3 are opposite sides of one page and could not hold the $50,000 bill. 4 hikers are forced into a cabin with no lights by a bad storm. On the door of the cabin is a sign that reads, "Come in as you please, but fall asleep and you will die." Being somewhat superstitious, they all take this very seriously and develop a plan so they can all stay awake. They all stand in a corner and one person walks from one corner along the wall to the next and taps the person in that corner, making sure they are awake. They do this for several hours until one hiker suddenly runs out of the cabin, screaming along with all of the others. Why did they run out terrified? They realized that it would take 5 people to execute this plan. There is one in every corner and one moving from one corner to another at all times. So somebody was already in the cabin. Pretty scary. John is trapped in a room. The room has only 2 possible escape routes, which are 2 doors. Through the first door there is a huge magnifying glass. The blazing hot sun would fry anything that enters. Through the second door there is a flamethrower that instantly burns anyone which enters. How does John escape? John waits until after sunset and then he goes through the first door. Bill and Jessica are found dead on the floor of a mansion in Monaco. There are small pieces of broken glass nearby. Apparently, only a cat witnessed it. They were not poisoned and there were no marks on their bodies. How did they die? Bill and Jessica were 2 goldfish whose fish tank was broken by the cat. Mr. Smith was killed on Saturday afternoon. There are 5 suspects. The wife said she was reading the newspaper. The butler said he was out shopping. The chef said he was preparing breakfast. The maid said she was cleaning the bathrooms, and the gardener said he was planting flowers. Who did it? The chef did it. Mr. Smith was killed in the afternoon, and yet the chef claimed he was preparing breakfast. One day, the police found a woman dead inside a hut. In her left hand, she's holding a gun. In her right hand, she has a recording. When the recording is played, the police hear the woman talking about how horrible life is and how she wants it to end. The recording ends with a gunshot. The police are about to call it a suicide until you point out a very important clue. What is it? The recording played a gunshot inside it. If the woman committed suicide, she wouldn't have been able to stop the recording after she pulled the trigger. A murderer is condemned to death. He has to choose between 3 rooms. The first is full of raging fires, the second is full of pirates ready to kill you, and the third is full of lions that haven't eaten in 2 years. Which room is safest for him? The third room, because those lions haven't eaten in 2 years, so they are dead. A Japanese ship was sailing in the Pacific Ocean. The Japanese captain of the ship put his diamond chain and expensive watch on a shelf, went to get a shower and returned 20 minutes later. When he returned, both the chain and the watch were missing. He called the crew of his ship together. There were 4 of them. A French guy was the cook of the ship. The captain asked him, "Where were you the last 20 minutes?" And the cook answered, "I was in the cold storage room to select the vegetables for lunch." An Indian was the housekeeping guy. The captain repeated his question to him and learned that the Indian guy was at the top of the ship correcting the flag which had been put upside down. And Spanish guy was the engineer maintaining the ship. Same question, and the Spanish told that he was in the engine room checking the generator. A Russian guy also served on the housekeeping crew. Same question, and the Russian told that he was sleeping after the night shift. Within 15 seconds the smart captain caught the thief. Who was the thief? How did the captain find him? The thief was the Indian guy. The Japanese flag is just a red circle, it is the same upside down. A woman was found dead next to a 13-story building. The police say it was a suicide, but you say someone killed her. To prove this, you go to each floor on the building, open the window, and toss a penny out. You do this to each floor until you reach the 13th floor, open the window, and toss a penny out. How does this prove it wasn't a suicide? If the woman committed suicide, she would have left the window open, and you wouldn't have had to open it. There is a prison with 50 prisoners, each in separate prison cells with no contact possible between the inmates. There is an area in the prison with a single light bulb in it. Each day, the warden chooses one of the prisoners at random, even if they have been picked before, and takes them out to the prison lobby. The prisoner will have the choice to flip the switch if they want. The light bulb turns on. When a prisoner is taken into the area with the light bulb, he can also say, "Every prisoner has been brought to the light bulb." If this is true, all prisoners will recover their freedom. However, if a prisoner chooses to say this and it's wrong, all the prisoners will be executed immediately. So a prisoner should only say this if he knows it is absolutely true. Before this new procedure takes into effect, all the prisoners are permitted to get together to discuss a strategy to eventually grant freedom to all of them. What approach could they use to ensure they will all go free? Only allow one prisoner to turn the light bulb off, and all of the others turn it on, if they have never turned it on before. If they have turned it on before, they do nothing. The prisoner that can turn it off then knows they have all been there and saves them all when he has turned it off 49 times. Your father is a scientist who has invented a red pill, which, if eaten with a blue pill, another of his invention, will promptly teleport you back home. The night he completed his invention, he gives you 2 red and 2 blue pills just in case one of them is lost. He also warns you that an overdose will cause the opposite effect and kill you instantly. You put the pills in your pocket and leave his lab to return home. On the way home, you are abducted by gangsters who blindfold you and throw you into a dark room. At this point, you remember the pills your father gave you. You take them out, but realize that you can't tell the red pill from the blue pill. Even if you take off your blindfold, you can't see anything, since it is pitch black. Given the circumstances, how do you successfully eat 1 red and 1 blue pill and survive? To survive, he eat half of each pill. There is a man who is a conductor on a train. Due to criminal negligence, he runs over someone, killing the person instantly on the train tracks. So the conductor gets sentenced to death. He goes to an electric chair. The people that work there say, "It's your last day to live, what would you like to eat?" The man replies, "An ice cream cone and some chocolate." They turn on the electric chair and nothing happens. The next day, he gets sent to a 5 times more powerful electric chair. Again, they say, "What would you like to eat?" And he says, "An ice cream cone and some chocolate." He eats the ice cream cone and chocolate, and they turn on the electric chair. They send him to the best electric chair in the world. They say, "What would you like to eat?" He replies, "Ice cream cone and some chocolate." He eats the ice cream cone and some chocolate, and they turn on the electric chair, and nothing happens. Completely clueless, they finally ask him, "Why aren't you getting electrocuted?" What does the conductor say? The man says, "I am a bad conductor. It is Halloween, and your friends dare you to go into a haunted black mansion. You creep up to the main door, a little scared, wondering what is behind the door. You go in, and there is a hallway leading out into a dark, musty room with 3 doors. You get scared once you are inside. You try to turn back to get back outside, but when you turn around, the door is immediately closed and locked. You yell for help, but there is only silence. The room is dark, and you look for some light. You see a light switch and try to turn it on. Unfortunately, the power is out. You are terrified, but have no choice but to follow the hallway to the 3 doors in the pitch black. Behind one of the doors is a bottomless abyss with no end. Behind another door is an electric chair you must sit on. Behind the last door is a large pool full of acid. You must pick a room to go through. Which one should you go through? You should definitely go through the electric chair. Since the power is out, when you sit in the electric chair, it will have no effect on you.